All right. So I am so excited to talk about our systems call. The second week of the month, we always do a systems call where we talk about kind of the basics, the bread and butter of our businesses. And tonight we're going to talk about onboarding and customer care. And I am so excited to talk about this. This is an area that I have become so passionate about, but it really has not always been a strength of mine. Onboarding was an area where I was very weak for several years because I was lacking confidence in my belief and my
Start.
abilities to do it well.
Perfect.
So y'all
Now,
make sure you're muted just so we don't have any feedback. Thank y'all so much. This was an area where I feel like I really lacked confidence in my own abilities to do this well a couple of years ago. There have definitely been times in my business that I didn't have strong systems in place. And it absolutely affected my confidence to be able to lead and to really be able to show somebody else how to be successful with this. So if you don't hear anything else tonight, I want you to know that onboarding and customer care will absolutely make or break your business. And the way that you onboard will also determine the type of business that you have. One that's going to be either full of energy or one that feels like you are rowing upstream. And I've had both of those over the years. And so hopefully y'all can learn from my mistakes tonight and really just learn how to do this well and learn that your energy and your ability to encourage and teach well is absolutely your superpower with this. Because when we're really asking around this topic of customer care and onboarding, what we're really asking is, do we want to build a small organization of level ones that we are just personally sponsoring and constantly pouring into and constantly fighting attrition? Or do we want to duplicate and build a team of excited people who are sharing that will ultimately become business builders? And when we really think about customer care this way, it really just puts a highlighter on what should be the focus of our business, which is happy and excited customers. So if you're taking notes tonight, that would be like a bullet point to write down. If you're looking for somewhere to focus in your business right now, I want you to focus on happy, excited customers because happy, excited customers share. So if you're here to build a team, how you get your people started out and excited is absolutely everything. So that's what we're going to kind of unpack tonight. We're going to talk about this idea of onboarding, talk about how to do that strong, how to create those happy, excited customers, and really just talk about the processes to follow in order to do that. And the first thing you need to know is that confidence in your processes to onboard a new customer is the key to your success here. Confidence in your processes. And when you think about that word processes, that's just doing something over and over again. It's just moving through a motion of things. Y'all, I'm a big believer in mindset. We talk a lot about mindset on our team. And I've heard it said so many times, and Stephanie preaches this so often, that this business is 80% mindset and 20% skill set. And I will believe that until the day I pass. And I 100% agree with that. But I also believe that that 20% that is systems and skill set is where so many of us never even get off the ground and get to that place of tackling those bigger mindset blocks. Because if you don't have that basic piece and a strong understanding of how to guide and how to serve someone well, it's going to start planting seeds of self-doubt. And you're going to find yourself spinning. And you're going to find yourself thinking, well, I don't know what to say next. I don't know what to do. I don't feel confident that I can show somebody else how to do this. If you feel like you don't have the tools to give these new customers what they need, and if you find yourself in that paralysis phase of not knowing what to do or say next, poor systems will kill your business before it even gets off the ground, before you even have a chance to get into those deeper dive mindset issues. We really have to have these strong systems in place so that we can do these basic things to build ourselves to the next level of tackling those bigger mindset issues. It's kind of like the lesson plan to our day. Y'all know I'm a former teacher, so I love a good school teaching analogy. Our systems are our lesson plan, and without it, you're going to be lost and floundering, and those kids are going to run all over you. You've got to have a plan for the day, and you've got to know where you're going next. And really what that looks like is just having a tried and true system that you walk through over and over and over again with your new people from the start to finish that guarantees success if followed. It guarantees success if followed. Now, before we unpack that process and we unpack that system, I want to throw out this disclaimer because I know I carried this burden and I have, like, as recently as 1 or 2 years ago in this, I've carried this burden. And I want to say that you are not responsible for someone else's success in this. Okay, I want you to say that. You are not responsible for someone else's success in this, but you are responsible to give them the tools that they need to be successful. Y'all have heard the saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. We are leading the horse to water, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to leave out my man here. And those are two totally different things. I don't want you to walk into this carrying that burden. They are the only ones that can pick up that mantle and decide that they're going to take their products, that they're going to drink their water, that they're going to prioritize sleep, that they are going to give this 90 days to work. That is on them. So I want to release you from that burden. You are absolutely going to have people who are going to quit on themselves, who are going to quit on you, who don't have the tenacity to see this through, who find an excuse not to do this, or maybe it's just not their time. We get to focus on what we can control, which is showing them the way if they want to come with us. So I want to say that first before we dive into this. This is not a foolproof program. People are people, and you're going to have people quit, but this is going to ensure that you're leading people to a place where they can be successful. So tonight we're going to walk through what that looks like. We have some new team members on here, some ladies who have literally started their businesses this week. So this is going to be such an amazing training for you, learning how to do this well from the start. And for those of us who've been in this before and we've heard this training before, you're going to maybe hear some new things tonight. Because as y'all know, we are in an ever-changing climate. We are always in the business of tweaking and being in tune with what's currently working. We're always adjusting. And what I'm going to share tonight is what's working for me currently and creating happy customers who want to stay on their products and who want to share. My retention rate since I've been following this system has gone up 30%. That's a really big jump for me. 30% retention rate from people who were ordering 3 or 2 months ago are still on the products, a 30% jump. So this system is working. And so we're just going to talk about what that looks like tonight. So I'm going to share all these resources after the call. You're going to get the customer care flow that I'm going to pull up here in just a minute. It's just a PDF document. I'll share that with y'all, but all of this is also in our boards. So if you have our team boards, you already have access to this. If you don't have our team boards, or if you're new and you're like, what is boards? Or if you're a sideline and you don't have access to my boards, just message me after this and I'll get you set up with that. It's going to make this process so much easier and everything's already loaded for you. So let's go ahead and dive in. I am going to share, well, I'll share my screen in just a minute. But here is what we know about somebody who is starting Plexus. And this is really statistically proven for anybody who's starting anything new, whether it's a new Bible study or they're starting a new workout plan or new supplements or whatever it is. Your people will never be more excited about their journey and their results with Plexus as they are within that first 0 to 20 days. That is our excitement window. Okay. And how we approach and pour in within that first 20 days is crucial. So we want to make sure that we are supporting and fostering that excitement from the get-go. Everything you do from the moment your new customer asks you about Plexus should go through the filter of, am I offering exceptional customer service? Okay. Am I serving them well and meeting them where they're at? And number 2, is it duplicatable? Is it simple enough that Kristen, who I'm sharing with, could turn around and show her mama how to do the same thing? Because that's the goal of every conversation that we have. We don't want to make this look complicated because it's not complicated. Everything you're doing should be through the lens of service and through the lens of, is it duplicatable? And could Kristen turn around and show her mama how to do what I'm showing her how to do? That is the goal. Okay, so for the next 10 minutes, I'm literally going to walk you through my onboarding process, how I have been doing customer care from the moment somebody messages me and signs up through day 30. After day 30 really is more about like weekly check-ins and product troubleshooting and stuff like that. But tonight we're going to focus on that first 30 days, start to finish. So the next 10, 15 minutes might sound a little bit teachery. It might sound like I'm speaking at you and reading some of the things off the screen, but y'all bear with me because each of these steps is super important. And even if you've been doing this a while, like I have, some of these tweaks might be helpful for you. So take notes if you want to, but again, all of this is in boards and you are also going to have this printout that I'm about to screen share. So let me get my screen share going. And again, I've got 100 things pulled up on mine. So let me make sure I do the right one. Customer care, that's what I want. Okay, are y'all able to see that? Y'all give me a thumbs up if you can see it. Okay, Mallory says she can see it.
Yep.
All right, awesome. Okay, so I keep this document. This is a document that I have pulled up on my laptop. I keep this document pulled up on my computer when I'm in my work block. So when I sit down to answer messages, whether it's from my current customers, whether it's from, people I'm in product conversations with, I follow this flow pretty much word for word when I'm having conversations with people. Now, of course, I'm going to expand on these things and ask them more questions if needed. This is just the foundation. This is not every word of every conversation I'm having with people. You need to personalize it, but this is my basic framework and basic wording for everything. So I'm going to start right from that first message. And if this feels really oversimplified to you, I want you to challenge yourself to think about what you're currently doing and ask yourself if you're possibly complicating it somewhere and adding in extras where you don't need to. The goal of customer conversations is to be direct, to add value, and to ask questions, because asking questions is how we're going to get to heart of how we can serve that person. Okay, so if this seems oversimplified, this is not the Bible, this is not the Holy Grail, but this is a system that's working. So I want you to, if yours is a lot more complicated than this, maybe you need to take a look and say, how can I pare this down? How can I make this more customer focused? So let's go ahead and take a look. I'm just gonna read right from the sheet. So this is how I start this is how I start guiding a conversation from the very get-go. Now, we get in messages a lot of different ways with people. Maybe somebody sees a post that we make and they message us. Maybe they slide over in our stories. Maybe they get connected with us through a friend. Maybe they see us post a story and they jump in and they ask, how much is it? Or what is the pink drink? Or tell me a little bit more about gut health. All of those are ways that people may come to you and start questions. Or maybe you're doing a reach out and you're reaching out to somebody about plexus. I want you to remember that this is the flow that you're going to come back to. You have an ultimate goal with every conversation that you're having, and that is always, how can I serve this person? How can I make sure that I am meeting this person where they are and that I'm getting the best plexus products in their hand to serve them? So if that's our purpose, we need to first establish why they need plexus. So if they come to us with any of those questions, any of those ways, we are going to redirect the conversation. Whoever is asking the questions is who is driving the conversation, and you want to be the one driving the conversation because you want to serve and add value. So regardless of how you get in a message, you're going to redirect it something like this. Hey, Kristen, I'm so excited to be connected with you. I want to make sure I'm pointing you in the right direction. The supplements can help with a lot of different things. What on this list can you relate to? We can hop in and go from there. Okay, so maybe Kristen messaged me and says, how much is it? That's when I get a lot, when I just drop it in my stories and I'll get, how much is it? I am so glad to be connected with you, Kristen. That's a great question. I want to make sure I'm pointing you in the right direction first. What on this list can you relate to so I can point you in the right direction? You're redirecting and you're getting to the heart of how you can serve her. Okay, you're going to wait on her response. And if it sounds like plexus could be a fit for her, if it sounds like this is a good fit for her, you're going to send her something like this. It sounds like you're in the right place. And if you can relate, you can add it in this way. I struggled with so much of that myself before I found plexus. It sounds like the combo that I started would be a great fit for you too. It's all about gut health, blood sugar, and clean energy, which has a huge impact on those deeper issues. I'm going to share some info right down here below. Okay. This is where I want you to really think about that duplication piece. Okay. Because the tendency here is to send them 6 product info sheets, to tell them, regurgitate everything you know about how gut health relates to autoimmunity and neurological issues and depression and anxiety. You don't want to paint yourself as the expert here. You want to use third-party tools. Remember, we're trying to get Kristen ultimately to want to share this with people. We're going to share third-party tools that are going to explain why this is going to be helpful for Kristen, but also give her tools that if she were to turn around and share, she can easily share. So we're going to say that to her. I'm going to share some info below. This is what I take that has helped me so much with A, B, and C. Or this is, if it relates, or this is what I would recommend to help you with A, B, and C. You want to highlight how it's going to add value to her. Then you're going to share 3 things. You're going to share your testimony, a screenshot of your testimony if it's relevant, so that you can make that personal connection. If it's not relevant, you don't have to share it. You're going to share triplex video and triplex graphic. If that's what she needs, if she needs weight loss basics, if she needs another combo, share that graphic, whatever she needs. So you're going to share your testimony. You're going to share the product information that she needs. And then you're going to share 4 to 5 relevant testimonies with her. So if Kristen comes to me and she's looking for bloating, autoimmune health, and hormones, I'm going to share 4 to 5 testimonies of those 3 things. And I'm going to just kind of put them up there together so she can scroll through that. And I'm going to end with a question. We always want to end with a question because it sets the expectation that I'm looking for an answer. We never want to leave something floating out in space. Take a look at this. Let me know your thoughts. Because 9.9 times out of 10, Kristen's not going to let you know her thoughts. She needs you to ask her a question so that she can respond. So, after you drop those testimonies, sharing a couple of friends above who struggled with similar things, this is where we all started. Do you think this would be a good fit? You're going to leave it right there and ask her, do you think this would be a good fit? If she responds back, yes. Yeah. I mean, that's one that I get too. They just respond back with yes. I'm like, can you give me a little bit more? But if they respond back with yes, you're going to ask another question. Do you want me to shoot over pricing so you can see if it's doable for you? If she responds back yes, you're going to send her a voice message. And I think this is particularly important, especially with the comp plan change, because I think some of us are feeling some type of way about the welcome packs. Is anybody feeling some type of way about the price change with the welcome packs? Drop me. Okay, I see some hands. I love sending this voice message because them being able to hear your voice and us building value for the combos and the discounts really allows us to do that, to build value for that. So I always send this in a voice message and then I type it out. And here's what I'll say. Normally it's $20 to order as a VIP customer. And that just allows you to get wholesale pricing for the next 12 months. It's very much like a Costco card. And our combos are $124, and I just want to put a pin in that and say this. How amazing is it that we are able to say that and we don't have to stop right there and explain that, well, your first month is 102, but your next month is going to jack up to 124. It really allows us to just be fully transparent and set the expectation from the beginning that our combos are 124. We really are doing ourselves a favor here. So I'll let them know normally $20 to order as a VIP, 124 for the combos. In October, that VIP membership is actually just $10 and you get a $10 coupon with your first order. So it's just 114. Then I'm going to add more value for them. That VIP membership also comes with a free app, which has weekly workouts and weekly recipes that are uploaded right to your phone for you. Your first order is going to come with all 3 products and you're going to get a super cute water bottle to mix up your pink drink. I'm going to drop this right down here for you in writing so you can put your eyes on it. Take a look at this and let me know your thoughts. That's how I'm going to send it in a voice message and then I drop it in writing. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to end it with a question. I'm going to write out a question at the bottom. How does that sound? And we can go from there. Now, if at any point they don't respond, because that happens a lot, we get ghosted, they don't respond, life gets busy, I will follow up 2 times before I put them on the follow-up list. So if at any point during this conversation, they, ghost me or they don't respond within 24 to 48 hours, I'll just shoot them a little message and say, hey, Kristen, I don't want to forget about you. Did you get a chance to check out that info that I sent? I'm asking her a simple question again, and she can either respond back with, yes, I'm so sorry, or no, I haven't had a chance yet. If she responds back with, no, I haven't had a chance yet, I'm going to set the expectation that I'm going to follow up with her again. No worries. Life is insane. School is busy. I'll touch base with you on Friday after you've had a chance to catch up. So you're setting the expectation so that it's not going to be weird when you jump back in there on Friday. And then make sure you mark your calendar to actually follow back up with her on Friday. If she still doesn't answer, I'm just going to put her on my list to follow back up with when I'm running a sample group, or maybe when I'm running an info group, or we have a special, or, there's a new product. I'm going to put her on my follow-up list to touch base with her in a couple of weeks or a month once things settle down. And I'm going to interact with her in the meantime. Okay. After that, I'm going to send her Share a Cart. I always use Share a Cart. It's super easy to use. And then here is where the rubber meets the road. Okay. Everything we've done up to this point is super duplicatable. We've shared third-party resources. We have made it simple for them to understand. We've made it simple for them to copy and paste and share with other people. This is where the customer care after the sale goes down. Immediately after they order, and I try to do this. This is really the only super time sensitive message that I kind of hold myself to. As soon as I see that email come through, or as soon as I see that she's ordered, I want to get in her voice message box and share my excitement with her, because she will never be more excited than the moment they hit that order button. She just spent $124 on a welcome pack, and she is excited to see what her transformation is going to be. So I'm going to get in her inbox and I'm going to transfer some excitement and energy to her. And it's going to be like the first time anybody's ordered a combo from me. And I'm going to get in there and I'm going to say, Kristen, I'm so excited for you. I just saw your order come through. That's going to ship out first thing in the morning for you. So you're going to get that in a couple of days. I'm going to go ahead and shoot over your starting guide right down here below so that you have it as soon as your products arrive. You're going to start a little bit differently than it says to on the bottles. And then maybe you'll give her a couple of, bullet points of how to get started with her products. And then you're going to set the expectation that you're going to be following up with her and you're going to be caring for her over the next couple of days, over the next couple of weeks. Now, we're going to talk just a minute about 2 different ways that you can do that. If you're going to care for her individually and not put her in a customer care chat, which we're going to talk about, you're just going to let her know that, like, I'm going to be, over the next couple of days and weeks, I'm going to be checking in with you pretty closely. I'll be sharing some helpful information, giving you some accountability to help you start strong. So let's make sure that we stay in close contact over the next couple of weeks. If you're adding her to a customer chat, you're just going to tell her that you're adding her to a customer chat. You're not going to ask her. You're going to tell her that you're going to put her in this awesome customer chat that you have that's going to add value, that you're going to do some fun giveaways in. You're going to be sharing some helpful health information to get her started strong. So you're getting her excited about this customer chat. Okay. So that's immediately after they order. Something else I've started doing in the past several months that I've gotten great feedback on is in between when they're ordering and when their Plexus products arrive, I like to send them a handwritten note. And I'm going to show y'all a little post office hack that I've learned. And here's what I like to put inside of these. I just get these craft envelopes on Amazon. They're super cheap. There's like a pack of 100 for like 20 bucks or something. And I'll put a handwritten note in there. I had some cards printed up at FedEx. These were also super cheap with the referrals on the back, like sharing with a friend, refer one, 20 bucks, etc. And then I stick a sample in the mail. So if they ordered Triplex, usually I'll put a stick of Active in there. If they ordered Slim Active, I'll do Hydrate. But I just put those 3 things in a little craft envelope. And if you go to the post office and you get these butterfly, these are called non-machinable stamps. They're 88 cents. These will make sure that the letter doesn't go through the roller and it won't squish your sample. So you can send a sample for 88 cents. So this is a $4 investment max with your sample, your little handwritten card, and your butterfly stamp. And it is such a nice way for them to get to try a new product and just like a personal touch. So I like to send that. And I have these just ready to go in my desk. I have like 10 of these ready to go in my desk so that I don't have to think about it. I don't have to sit down and go buy stamps and all that. Just go ahead and make a bunch of these so you can slap an address on it and pop these in the mail as people order. And then as they're waiting on their products, the last thing that you want to do before you jump into their customer care sequence is talk about the referral link. Something that I really want to encourage you to do, and I want you to do this in a voice message. Something I really want to encourage you to do, Kristen, is think about 1 or 2 people who might want to start this with you. Accountability is so huge in this, and I want to make sure that you're being consistent and get the best results possible. I am going to be here for you, walking every step with you, but there is just something about starting this with somebody else from the beginning and celebrating those wins together. And as a perk of your customer membership, you're going to earn 20 bucks every time somebody orders through your link. For a lot of people, it's their husband, and you're going to get a $20 kickback when he orders his products. I know I started with my mom, my sister, and my best friend, and I paid for my products immediately. So be thinking about who you want to start with and link arms with as you go. And then I end it with my question. I always end it with my typed out question. Who can you think of that might want to start this with you? If she doesn't answer, I'm going to circle back with her when her products arrive, when she sends me her picture of her products. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited your products are here. Were you able to think of anybody who might want to start this with you? You're just circling back to your question. Okay. And that's really the flow that I go through from from interest to starting their products. Now let me get my other notes pulled back up. I can't function without my notes. Okay, so now I want to say a word on the customer chats. This is based on what has been working really well for the last few months for me. And I know this is working well for other Jules and other teams. Ultimately, you've got to decide how you're going to do customer care, whether you're going to do it in a chat or whether you're going to do it individually. It's totally up to you. I've done it individually for 7 years and it has worked. Okay. I'm having success doing it with chats, but I've switched it up in the past 3 months. And here's what I've found about the chats. The chats are working for 3 reasons. And basically when I say chat, I'm just starting a new chat every single month. So I have a September chat, I have an October chat, and those are all the people who are starting their products within that month. Typically we have, a lot of people order at the end of the month. So it makes sense that if we had a bunch of people order at the end of September, I would start a new group for October. And then anybody who orders, kind of like along the way in October is just getting put in that October chat. Okay. So all of my customers are going in there and I'm doing customer care in a chat versus doing it with 10 individual people. Here's the reason 3 reasons that I think chats are really working. Number 1, it's easier to create energy and excitement in a chat because people feed off of each other's energy and they feed off of yours. If they see Chandra in there, excited that her pink drink got there, it's going to encourage her, Kristen to take a selfie of her with her pink drink. It just creates synergy within the group. It also just feels easier and safer to share in a group setting. It's not so direct. It's not so one-on-one. There's safety in numbers. And when one person does it, it just normalizes it. And it also creates opportunity to introduce more products more easily. And I'm going to share kind of what that looks like in just a second. So however you choose to do it, I would suggest if you're recruiting at least 3 people per month, I would do a chat for the reasons listed above. I really would. I would put them in a group. Even if you have a small group of 3 people, they're going to feed off of each other's energy. If you feel intimidated to do that and you're like, I'm just starting, I don't know if I'm ready to do my whole new chat, add them to your uplines chat. You can add them to my chat. If you're on my team, you are welcome in my chat, but don't add them to somebody else's chat unless you do 2 things. Unless you personally put them in a 3-way message with the person who's running the chat. Okay. Because you've got to build some value. If Shannon throws somebody in my chat, and that person doesn't know me from Adam, I'm not going to be adding a whole lot of value. So Shannon's going to make sure that she gets me connected with that person. Hey, Kristen, I want to make sure I connected you with my friend Chelsea. She's been doing Plexus for 7 years. She's going to be sharing some helpful tips in here. That's going to allow me to make a connection with her and make that chat more personal. And then just introduce that, have your downline or, whoever it is, introduce that person in the chat so that they can build community. So excited for Leanne. She's starting her products this month, or, she's starting her products today. So excited for her to start Feel Better. Just make them feel a part of the community. Don't just drop them in there. And that's kind of how I'm doing it. And like I shared, I'm starting at the beginning of every month. This is about building community. It really is about building community. At the beginning, I have everybody post a picture of their products and introduce themselves. I share some starting guidelines. I share the app. I share, here's your getting started guides. And then I'm focusing on posting 3 times per week in that customer care chat, adding value 3 times per week. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is my checkpoint. I take 15 minutes Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to hop in those chats. I do a check-in. How are we doing with our products? How are we feeling with our bloating? Do we need to adjust? I put those check-in questions there. On Wednesday, I'm adding something valuable. Maybe it's a detox video. Maybe it's a health podcast. Maybe it's a challenge to get out and drink more water. I'm adding outside value. And then on Fridays, I do a fun Friday. Some of y'all are in my October chat. You know that I do free products. I've done free water bottles. I'm investing in those groups. You don't have to do that. You don't have to get in there and send a $40 product in these customer chats. You can do a sample pack of active and do a sample, 3 actives, or you can do a $10 off code for their next order, or you can do a $7 Amazon water bottle. It doesn't matter what you do. It matters that you are loving on your people and getting them engaged with the videos that you're putting in there and the content that you're sharing. The chats go past customer care, and they're also just a great opportunity to help your people start sharing. At least once during that month, I'm going to run an online event And let's say maybe I run it on a Thursday night, like I'm doing this week. I'm going to run one Thursday night. And I'll drop a message in there on Tuesday, and I'll drop a 1-minute selfie video, and I'll, talk about the power of accountability. And I'll say, who is going to be your one person? Who's going to be your one person that you're going to link arms with and do this? I'm doing a messenger event here Thursday night. Whoever invites a friend to this 15-minute event is going to get a $5 Starbucks card from me. Or you're going to be entered to win a $5 Starbucks card from me. Or maybe you don't even want to do that. You don't have to spend money on this. The goal is to show them how simple it is to share. Add somebody to the event, share your excitement with a friend, because creating happy customers and excited customers is going to make them want to share. And really from there, y'all, you just continue walking through the boards. Everything is laid out for you. Week 1 shares, week 2 shares, week 3 shares, all the graphics, everything is in there for you. It really is just plug and play. Okay. And you can do the same thing with individual. If you choose not to do the customer chats, everything is laid out for you in your individual customer care boards. It really is just plug and play. It's a matter of you taking ownership and doing it. So we're at 9:04. We like to keep these right at 30 minutes. I'm going to wrap this up and take some questions. But I'll just kind of end with this. Sometimes I think we overthink customer care, and we get this pit in the bottom of our stomach that it is so complicated, and we have to, send so many messages and keep up with so many people. Decide how you're going to handle it. Take the time up front to make yourself a plan, write it on your calendar, and have a plan of how you're going to deal with it. For a long time, I know I did follow-up Fridays where I checked in with my people every single Friday, and that was my IPA time. And I kept it simple, and it was pre-decided on the calendar every Friday. This is the same thing. I'm doing customer care Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Whatever it is, however you choose to do it, make a plan, create a process, and stick to moving through that process, and be intentional, moving everybody that comes in contact with you to the next chair simply. All right. I'd love to take any questions. If anybody has any questions about the customer chats, about messages, if you have questions about boards, DM me. Like I said, I can help you get that set up if you haven't already set that up. It really is just a note on your phone that's going to help make these things simple. So I can help you set that up. But does anybody have anything? Feel free to just unmute yourself.
Chelsea, you are amazing. I wish you had taught me this 8.5 years ago when I used to sign 30 people a month and couldn't keep up with any of them. Like, you are brilliant. Customer chats. And for my team, I'll run a chat for everyone if they want, and everybody can add in it. You're brilliant. Thank you for all of this.
Well, Noelle, it only took me 7 years to figure it out myself. And that's the beauty of this, is that, you can do this 100 different ways. We've both done this without customer chats for 7 years, and it's worked. This, to me, is just streamlining it and making it better. I mean, it really is just making it better. So yeah, I'm excited. And honestly, I think, and this is one of the things, we were at Gold School this past weekend, and I hate that Chandra's not on here tonight. Y'all just say a little prayer for her. Her pup had to be put down today, and he's been a part of their family for a really long time. So she was not able to be on tonight. I was hoping she was going to share a little bit about Gold School, but that's one of the things that Genevieve shared at Gold School, is that one of the things people are craving now more than ever is community and feeling seen. They shared a statistic with us, and it was shocking. And I can't even remember the number, but it was something like 70% of people right now feel alone and feel like they don't have anybody to do life with. Like, that is a large number. It was a large number of people. And anything that we can do to link arms with people and show them that, listen, like, we have a solution to the way that you're feeling physically, to the way that you're feeling lacking community. We have a solution to the debt that you're living in, to the extra $300 that you need every month. People are craving that. And so that's one of the reasons I think that these customer chats really are working so well, because people are thriving on it, and they really need that. So thank you, Noelle. You're amazing. I learn from you every day. Does anybody have a specific question that they want to jump in and ask?
I have one.
Okay.
So for, brand new, is it better to just initially, if I have someone, just initially just tell them about you and put in a group chat and have you send all those? Or where do you get all the resources for because I mean, I love when I get them from you too, but just like when you send like how to start, like when you start like a getting started guide and you send them all those, is that something we should hook with you first and have you do it? Or where do I get those things to send them?
I need to get you hooked up with boards. So as soon as I'm done with this,
Oh, that's what boards mean.
that's what
Okay.
boards is. You're gonna like do a
Okay.
happy dance. You're gonna
Okay.
love boards. It's basically like,
Okay.
you know how we use the notes in our phone to save things.
Yeah.
It takes all of those things preloaded for you and puts it on a keyboard in your phone. It's amazing. It's
Okay.
amazing. So I'm gonna send that to you, but that's a good question. I would say ultimately, I mean, you know, in a month or two, you're gonna have this down to a science and you're gonna be able to walk through all those first processes and send them their starting guide and do all of that individually. I would say if you're in your first couple of months, plug them into your upline, plug them into your upline's chat, let them feed off that energy until you get rocking and rolling, until you feel confident with that. I know in the beginning, I put every person in a three-way message with Stephanie so that I could learn from her, so that I could see how she handled conversations. And I still do. You know, I still put people in three-way messages with sidelines, with uplines, like based on who, you know, testimony, like somebody's struggling with autoimmunity. Let me put them in a message with Chandra. You know, I think connecting them to a third-party source is one of the best things that you can do, because it shows that you're not the only person who's excited about Plexus. Here's somebody else who's had success with products in the business, and it just paints an extra layer. So short answer to that is I would get them connected with my chat and just, you know, do it that way, at least for the first couple of months before you feel super confident.
Okay,
Charles,
thank
can
you.
I add something in case anyone else is technologically challenged like I am? I did not understand the excitement for boards, and then I learned that I did not have in my settings to allow full access. So everybody's sharing boards for like a year, and all that would pop up for me was like one little thing. So make sure you go to your settings and you allow full access. And when I finally did it, I'm like, oh, look at all this stuff. So I know if I did it, there's got to be someone else who's going to do it.
Yeah, you should be able to, when you click on a message in boards, it should auto-populate into your text box. So if that's not happening for you, message me and I can help you. Where did you say you got the envelopes? Amazon. Let's see.
Hey, Chelsea, I have a question.
Okay, hey Marina.
Hi. So on your boards, how do you have it organized? Like what, I'm so sorry, I missed like the first 10 minutes of the call. I think you talked about boards, but how specifically in your, I love boards. But how do you have it organized? Like you know how you can make certain sections?
Yep, I have it. So I have folders. My whole, I don't know if you can see that. That is really bright. And if you're not in my boards, Marina, I can share my boards with y'all. This is my whole team boards. Then I have it in folders, and I have one that says customer care chats. And when you open it up, it literally is like week 1, week 2, week 3. I mean, it breaks everything down for you. And then I have one, if you're doing it individually, that just says customer care individual. So it's just in a folder, and everything is within the folder. Hopefully that makes sense.
Charles, do you also
Yeah,
have
that makes sense.
for like the cards you use and stuff?
Yeah, I do. I do. I put the links are in.
Are they in boards?
They are in boards, and it's in sample group. I have a folder called sample messenger group. And if you go in there, and I've got printable sample cards and packaging materials. So all of the like links to the Amazon pack bubbles that I mean, everything is linked in there under the sample folder.
Thank you so much for all of this, Chelsea. It's been a tremendous help.
Oh, I'm so glad. And if you're not on my team specifically, message me, and Noelle, I'll send you that PDF that I had pulled up where I was, you know, reading from. And like I said, if anybody needs to get connected with my boards, just text me or message me and I'll send it to you. Love your teacher mind. Love yours too, Maggie.
Can I say this real quick too, you guys? I know there's some new people on here tonight that I haven't met, but we are one big team here. And so Stephanie Shaughnessy, I'm a diamond, and Chelsea's my level 1, Noelle's my level 1. So they have their own teams and we all do these calls together. Chelsea's background as a teacher, and Noelle and Dan do calls together too. So I just wanted to say that, like, we are all, the three of us, you guys have access to all of us on this call. They do such a great job of putting together a calendar every month of calls. And so I just wanted you guys to know, like, when I joined this, and I joined Plexus 10 years ago, the closest diamond to me was like, I don't know, 7 levels above me. So I was always like, just looking for leaders in this or whatever. And I'm here to tell you today, I'm not here to say we know it all, but I will proudly and without a doubt say that this team and the leaders on this team, oh my gosh, like, there's nothing that we can't give you today that, to make you successful in this, or feel like you're prepared to be successful in this. I don't know. And I feel like we could do a whole call on this with Noelle, Chelsea, and I, like, where we started in this. We've come a long way, is what I want to say. So we are here to support you guys, and I just want you to know, like, you have this leadership here who, whether you're under Noelle or whether you're under Chelsea or whatever, we are here for you guys. So don't feel, don't hesitate to throw us in a message together, or, we're just here to help you guys succeed. And so I just wanted to say that, because I know we've got new people joining these calls every week. And yeah, so thank you guys for being here.
I'm so glad you said that. And yeah, like, so much of that is things that we have figured out as we've gone. And that's what I love about these calls, is that the things that maybe took us months and years to figure out, like, we don't want it to take you guys months and years to figure out, so that's the beauty of this. Like, utilize us. Don't ever hesitate. Oh, should I put her in a three-way message? She's probably in 100 messages already. No, use us. That's what we're here for. We're going to get to it. We have our work block, but don't hesitate to use us, because that's what we're here for.
That's right. I was super hesitant when I started this, because I didn't know any jewels above me. So I would never think, like, to reach out to them. I looked at them I looked at them like celebrities, like, oh my gosh, who am I to reach out to this? Listen, y'all, reach out to me, Noelle, Chelsea, we are here to help you. I don't care what our rank is. That is just, our rank is our rank. But I want to say that to you, like, don't hesitate to reach out, because I really held myself back from reaching out to leaders in this, because I just felt like, oh my gosh, I was so far disconnected from leaders above me. So I don't know. I want to say that, because I feel like that's really important in this. And I want y'all to know that we are real human beings, and, this is not something that's not attainable for every single person on this call. So.
Well, and not only that stuff, but think of how much easier it would have been if we had people to reach out to and learn from. Like, most important thing is be coachable, but it's nice if you have people to coach you.
Yeah.
And as far as messages, like, before we had Rebecca on our team, I used to reach out to Chelsea's sister. And at the time, I barely knew her, and she would let me put her in messages with people. And I had them in with Stephanie. And if they're certainly, I put them with Dan. And I mean, it doesn't matter who you put them in a message with, just put them in a message with someone. Because if you tell that person that this person is the greatest person in the world, it doesn't matter who Stephanie is. If I say she's the greatest person on earth, that person is excited to talk to Stephanie, right? So you just have to pump them up for how lucky they are, like, that this person's going to give them love and time and support,
So true.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, Noelle. And I just always wanted, and I know you guys do too, I just always want to be that example of the person who, this opportunity changed my life. And I am the everyday, I was a cop for 15 years. Like, I just, I come from a very blue collar family. There's no entrepreneurs in my family. So I just always want to come from that perspective that I don't care what my rank is in this. I want to be very relatable and accessible to my team, and just let you guys know that this opportunity is real. And yeah, so I just wanted to say that.
I love it. I love it. I'm so thankful for you, Steph.
Thankful for all of you here. And
All
thank you, Chelsea.
Absolutely. I will, like I said, just if you're not on my team directly, I'm going to send Noelle all these resources. But if you're another sideline on here, want me to help with board, just message me and I'll get you connected with everything that we talked about tonight.
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
Yeah.
Night, everybody.
Thank you. We love you.
Everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.